Let's get into it. Guys, welcome fucking back, man. Welcome back. We on a roll, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm releasing videos. Man, y'all didn't even see this coming. Y'all had no idea this was on the way. And here we are. Guys, welcome back in, man. I hope you guys are enjoying your fucking day. I hope you guys are enjoying your week, your month, however long you've been in bliss. I hope it continues for you guys. My AOT family, my brethren, my sisterin, we're back with another AOT reaction, guys. This is one I've been kind of looking forward to. I had no idea this was dropping. I think he mentioned it and had posts in here. But Odin son, Odin has released a video pertaining to basically the ones that I covered in regards to the whole Invaderzz thing of how the video will make you see Eren differently. He himself has done a take on it. And guys, I can't wait to get into it. I want to see what he says. Because again, Odin, much like him and the videos I've seen he does, it's pretty much along the same lines and along the same takes as I have. And a lot of other people have. And we want to, I want to go, I want to see what he got. I want to see what he got to say. I really do. I think what he has to say is going to be pretty cool. And I just want to see if it aligns. And I'm going to do a reaction to it. Now, again, I just released the video there that just popped up on the screen for you. You see it there. I just released that, guys. That one was super lengthy, guys. That one took a lot of time to do in the sense of just overall reacting time. But it was about a 2-hour video. That's why I labeled it like a movie. I'm going to try not to make this one that long, but this one may be basically extensive as well, because the particular video that Odin did himself is about 45 minutes. So if I'm going to go ahead and react to that in one fell swoop and just one cut like I did this one, we're probably going to be looking at about an hour video. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I don't want to take too much of your time, but if you could do something for me, guys, please, guys, as always, feel free, guys, to hit that like button if you enjoy the video. Hit that subscribe button as well. That helps me out. That helps me show me that you guys are interested in the content that's being put out there. Also, feel free to leave a comment, guys. I have a couple of comments that I have received in other videos that I haven't gotten around to yet, but I do try and always try to comment back on people who have commented. And most importantly, guys, please share this video. If you guys know people, again, as I've always said, who has the same takes, same theories, same mindset, that you would think that they would enjoy this type of content in regards to the AOT universe, share it with them, and we can just get this shit rocking and rolling, because I know there's a lot of you guys out there. Y'all want to try to stay hiding, but fuck that hiding shit, man. This shit is real. This shit is a war on good storytelling. And I'm tired of these motherfuckers saying that this ending was just amazing, and it wasn't, right? I'm tired of these motherfuckers trying to paint pictures of people that we know that's not how they were, and that's not their fucking character. We know this, all right? So you guys need to join in the fight. You know that little poster, the dudes like that. That's what I'm doing. Join in the motherfucking fight. We want you. Look at that ass. But anyway, I'm going to get into it. Odin, this is his video. This is his take on it. It's called the Attack on Titan Defender Confuses Himself. So Odin kind of breaks down a lot of the videos. He goes into very good detail in terms of he's a very good listener, in terms of seeing and hearing exactly what these people are saying. And what he then does is he basically breaks their argument down based on the words that they themselves have said. So we're going to see what he does. We're going to see if he got some motherfuckers with the okie doke. We're going to see if he trips some folks up with some Wile E. Coyote traps. And we finna get into it, man. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. This one may be lengthy as well, but sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, buckle the fuck in, and tune the fuck in. Let's get into it, guys. Let's do this shit. Alright, here we go.
This video will change how you see Eren. By Invaderzz. has had the Attack on Titan community in a storm on both the manga side and the anime side. Whether you're a manga reader or an anime only, you have by this point, at least once, have heard of his video. I mean, it's one of the biggest Attack on Titan videos on YouTube.
Yep.
It has 2.8 million views.
I don't
and
know
this
how.
video's been talked about everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit. I mean, it is Jaegerbomb's and Titan folks' favorite YouTube video. So that just shows how big it is. And finally, for the first time a couple days ago, I finally sat down and watched
This thing was cool.
And to be honest, I'm not surprised it took me this long to watch it. I mean, I did say in my video on Sash, another ending defender, that to be frank, I'm just not gonna waste my time watching an hour-long video on Eren Yeager. And also just in general, I'm not gonna watch an hour-long video on anything on YouTube. Unless it's an anime waifu Mummy Milker's compilation video.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. It's another hit. It's another hit. Get up on it.
And so like always, I pulled my zipper down, sat down, and finally watched this video. Now before I break down the video, let me just say this. I'm not going to be as mean or as rude to Invaders as I was to Sash. And the reason being is that the difference between Sash and Invaders is that Sash, I mean, he just comes off as an over-pretentious prick. And me, just like every single one of you, we all hate over-pretentious pricks. And Invaders isn't like that. I mean, in this video, he comes off as a, you know, just like every single one of you, every other person, a normal, chill guy. So I have no reason to be mean or rude to Invaders, just like I was to Sash.
I agree with that. Like I you know, there are times where in terms of the video, I was like, dude, what the hell is he talking about or anything like that. But not one time have I called, you know, Sash out of his name in terms of like, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like just straight up just mean about it, because again, I gave him production and praise. You know what I mean? Like it's got the views that it's got. You know what I mean? He has the points that he has. And just respectively, like I said, and you know, respectively, I disagree with a lot of the points. You know what I'm saying? I just don't really like the disingenuous part of it. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly he's a good dude. I think again, most of the videos that he put out is very good quality. So I'm not really taking anything away from Invaderzz with that. It's just a lot of the points I just felt were pushed. We're trying to push a false narrative, you know what I mean? And that's just me. Some of the things I agree with, a lot of it I disagree with, because again, I just took it as a narrative that was being pushed as though that Eren was just crazy and just wanted to kill the world because he was bored, because they want to tie that into they want to try to tie that into the whole school cast thing and say that, oh, he was bored, so that's why he destroyed the world and stuff like that. And they want to take certain things literal and then not take certain other things literal. Like you can't keep just throwing up a coin and just being like that. You know what I'm saying? And wherever the wind blows, this motherfucker, right? Can't do that. So, but yeah, shouts out to you, Invaders. As I've said, man, great video. Let's continue.
And I know, the thumbnail for this video is a little mean. It is a little rude, but I promise you, Invaders, that thumbnail is the meanest I'm gonna be in this entire video. This video is strictly business and strictly professional. And one more thing, big respect to Invaders, because he does have a video on Odd Taxi. And on YouTube, there's not many videos on Odd Taxi. So for Invaders to be one of the few, that's really cool. But yeah, if you haven't yet, go and watch Odd Taxi. It was the top 3 anime of last year. But anyways, forget about that. In this video, I'm gonna break down Invaders' video and how and why he's wrong. I'm gonna tackle his views on Eren. I'm gonna tackle his views on determinism. And I mean, Invaders is just like any other ending defender. They contradict themselves. They blatantly misread the source material. Sometimes even just straight up forgetting the source material. Yeah. And just basic confusion of what's going on. We're gonna get into all that. And we're gonna start right now. So the first big and main point of the video, Invaders says, is that Eren did the rumbling, not out of necessity, but because he just wanted to do it. And he also says that Eren doing the rumbling because he just wanted to do it is the primary reason why he did the rumbling.
And that desire from Eren brings us to the main topic of this video. Eren could not accept that the world outside of the walls was different from the free world he had imagined. And because of that discrepancy, Eren used the rumbling to destroy the world, not out of necessity, but because it was what he wanted to do.
And seeing that right there, that's what we're talking about. Like, again, I hope you guys are watching this video too. If you're watching this reaction video, or Odin's himself without interruption, which I'm gonna put the link for his video down below in the description box, so y'all go check that out if y'all want to just see it without my commentary. But that's the type of shit that we're talking about. It's just random, just blatant lies. Basically what he's saying again. When people make phrases, and this is what a lot of us are trying to say. When people say certain things like that, and when you say like, "Oh, he did it not out of necessity, but because he wanted to," that's a very solid sentence. That's just basically saying that fuck all the other shit, fuck all the shit that he was going through, like fuck all the bullshit that happened with Marley, fuck all that of him wanting just freedom and stuff, fuck all that. Fuck all the reasonings as to why he did that and how the government lied to him and how all of this stuff happened. And fuck all that shit. It's just because he just wanted to because of the book that Armin showed him. That's not true. That's what we're saying. That's not true. That's not true. That's just a blatant lie. That's not true. He just didn't wake up and just be like, I just want to kill these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So...
I'm getting ahead of myself, but I feel the need to say this now. I am not saying that the only reason Eren did what he did was because it was what he wanted, but I am arguing that it was his primary motivation.
No, it wasn't.
And obviously, this is a complete misreading of Emers's character. And it's crazy how Invaderzz just completely misses or ignores the most basic of characterization for Emers's motivations to do the rumbling. Eren isn't doing the rumbling because he just wants to do it because, for the heck of it. He is doing it out of necessity. He's doing the rumbling to destroy his enemies because his enemies want to kill Eren, which will actively take away Eren's freedom. And not just himself, but they also want to kill his friends, and they want to destroy his home. And I find it funny how he plays a clip of Eren saying the iconic, "If we kill our enemies, will we finally be free?"
向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか?
But instead of getting the point of what Eren's saying, Invaderzz instead, and purposefully, uses rhetoric such as freedom obtained by the world being wiped clean.
Eren was not asking when the fighting would be over, but rather if the freedom he sought could be obtained if the outside world was wiped clean.
When no, Eren isn't looking for freedom by wiping the world. In actuality, Eren is seeking for his freedom by destroying his enemies because, once again, his enemies want to kill him and his friends and his home, which will take away Eren's...
This is what we're saying, man. Brilliant job, Odin. Brilliant fucking job, man. This is what we're talking about when I say certain things to the commenters who said who were kind of not contesting me or whatever. But yeah, they were kind of contesting me in a sense of saying like, oh, you know, this is what it was. Like, no. This is what I'm talking about when I say pushing a narrative, because you're using certain phrases and, as he said, certain rhetoric to try to misshape what was being said and what was being presented in the story. That is what he is saying. When he is saying, that's what I'm saying. When he is saying, it's a prime example. That's a perfect example. When he is saying what he said, y'all don't take that literally. Right? He just clearly didn't take that literally. He gave his own interpretation. Eren said, will we finally be free once all our enemies are wiped away? Right? Once all our enemies are killed, right? He didn't take that verbatim. Invaderzz didn't take that verbatim. He just said, oh, no, what he actually meant was blah, 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 right? But you take, when he said, I was disappointed in humanity, and I was disappointed because of it, the world was not as I imagined it in Armin's book, and I was disappointed. Y'all take that motherfucker literally though. Y'all take that shit literally, like he just meant like, oh, I was disappointed in humanity, and the fucking book it was not empty. The world was not empty. So since the world wasn't empty, I'm pissed off. Y'all take that motherfucker literally. But you wouldn't take what he just said literally in terms of, will we finally be free if all of our enemies are killed? See, this is what we're talking about. You can't pick and choose to try and force a narrative that's not true. You can't do that. You can't do that. And that's what we're saying in terms of the video. A lot of you people who like the Invaderzz video and things like that and think that that point was like profound or whatnot, it wasn't. And that's what we're saying. Odin just hit it on the head. You're using specific rhetoric to try again to push an agenda of a characterization of Eren that's not true. That's not what it was. Y'all can't pick and choose what you take literal and then decide to say, oh, well, yeah, he meant that he was upset because the world was not like the book he saw, so that's why he wanted to kill everybody. But then when he makes a direct quote and a direct phrasing of, hey, will we, finally be free if we kill all our enemies? Y'all like, no, that's not what he meant. He meant this. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
It's freedom. That's the reason Eren is doing the rumbling. That's the freedom he seeks. Eren's freedom is freedom from being persecuted, freedom from being threatened by death. And also, when Invaderzz talks about how Eren felt not free at learning about the outside world from Armin's book, Invaderzz conveniently, or again, I don't know, purposefully, quickly glosses over what was causing Eren to feel not free. Yes, he is right. Eren was angry because he learned that the world, or the outside world, was taken from him, that it was inaccessible, and that he felt not free. But why? Why did Eren in that moment, when he realized about the outside world, what caused him to feel not free? Well, Eren literally says in that moment, and it's the Titans, his enemies. Eren said that he felt trapped in a birdcage because of the Titans. The Titans were the obstacle to experience freedom.
This is why. It wasn't just because he saw this book and was like, oh, shit, I wish everybody was dead. No. The main reason for the Titan situation was, again, the Titans, as he said, were the obstacles, was the barricade. He was upset at the Titans. However, the barricade and the obstacle changed when, in fact, it was revealed that Marley and humans, not just Marley, the world was the reason as to why. Because the world knew they existed. The world knew about these motherfuckers. They knew about it. They didn't. Again, we're forgetting that these motherfuckers were on an island and had no idea of the outside world whatsoever. However, the world was very aware of them. So the world hated their kind. The world hated them. The world wanted to see them eradicated. We're forgetting this. Like, we're just like, oh, Eren just wanted to destroy the world just because. No, these are like factors we have to take into an account, man. We just can't say random stuff like that. We have to take, as Odin said, we have to take the source material and we need to read the source material and we have to take our points from the source material, man. And we're just glossing over things. And when I realized that, I could never forgive them. That's when he realized that he wasn't free. It was because of the Titans. It was because of them. And again, he saw them as an obstacle, i.e. saw them as his enemy. Come on, man. Odin, man, you on point, dog. We only 5 minutes in, dog. And Odin hitting this out the park. That's what I'm talking about.
To go outside. Invaderzz misses that crucial aspect of what Eren says. You can't just say, oh, Eren learned about the outside world, and then he realized he wasn't free. Yes, but you're also missing this crucial aspect that goes along with that. And again, it was that he felt trapped by the Titans. And then later on, he talks about Schoolcast, and how it links to the manga, and how Eren, even in a free world, would be bored, which will lead him to want to destroy the world.
Isayama has said before that Schoolcasts would be relevant to understanding the main story, and I believe that this is what he was talking about. In the Schoolcast universe, we see a different version of Eren.
Odin hit him, dog.
He's still the same
I know
character,
he ready.
but he lives in a world where he isn't restricted by walls and has never had to fight for freedom. This version of Eren was already free, and by analyzing him in that context, we can get a better understanding of his nature. In this world without freedom to fight for, Eren was profoundly bored. Just like the Eren of the main universe before he discovered his own lack of freedom, this Eren longed for something interesting to happen.
Ever since I had that dream.
But you see what he's doing once again. We're taking this literal. But you didn't take the other phrases he said literal. That's what I'm saying. You can't pick and choose what you want to take literal just because it fits your narrative that you're trying to speak of. You can't do that. You can't do that, dude.
About the zombies. I haven't been able to stand this boring life where nothing happens. Of course humanity isn't in danger of being annihilated. It's impossible. A dream that ridiculous would never... No, wait. If the danger doesn't exist, then I could just cause it myself. A threat to all of humanity.
Let's summarize exactly what the implications of this are. No matter the place, as long as he wasn't free and realized that fact, Eren would always long for freedom. Without the need to long for freedom, he would be immeasurably bored with the world. In his boredom, he would long for a world without freedom, just so that he could fight for it. Eren would go as far as wanting to destroy a free world, just to create one where he had an excuse to fight for freedom. This is one of the most critical aspects of his character that you must
Let's kind of take into an account okay, you're saying, because again, let's just do this. Here we go. So check this out. No matter the time or the place, as long as he isn't free. So okay.
understand. This was Eren's nature, no matter the circumstances, and it could not be changed. It had been a part of him since the moment he was born.
This is bad character writing. Eren, even in the free world, would still want to destroy it simply because he's bored? And Invaderzz calls that well written, fascinating, and a unique character motivation.
Whether or not you like this part of the story is ultimately subjective, but I believe that this is an incredibly well written, fascinating, and unique character motivation that deserves to be acknowledged for what it is.
Destroying the world because he's bored is a unique character motivation, according to Invaderzz. And that's because Invaderzz, he suffers from what I like to call Sash syndrome, or Sashism for short. Sash syndrome was first observed on March 24th, 2022, in patient 0, Cactus.
Oh my god! He said Sashism. He said patient 0. Oh my goodness, dude.
There will always be limits on you. Sash.
There will always be things that limit you, no matter what.
And this was observed by Dr. Odin. And basically what Dr. Odin describes the syndrome to be is that basically takes away reading comprehension.
Hold on. Let's read this. Alright, Sash syndrome, guys, is a neurological condition that affects brain activity when dealing with one's favorite. Oh my god, bro. I can't, dude.
Overall thoughts on a person's favorite literary work and throws all of that out the window. Because it doesn't matter what the author writes, whether it be bad, horrible, or just straight garbage, carriers of Sash syndrome, no matter what, will always say that's good writing. According to them, the author can do no wrong. Everything the writer writes is perfect. There's no flaws. It's perfect.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
But anyways, these people will completely ignore all of the amazing character writing of Eren, of him wanting to destroy his enemies, to defend his freedom and the freedom of his friends and his home, which are all actively being threatened by the outside world. They want to take all that away, all that amazing character writing and motivation away, throw it out the window, and basically turn him into Michael Myers, who just kills for the heck of it, because he feels like it, he has nothing better to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They just making him out to be like that. That's what I said. You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to make this dude out to just because. Like, oh well, I'm bored, so I'm gonna kill people. And see, and here's what I want to look at too. You're trying to correlate. I don't know. Maybe somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but you're trying to find a correlation between School Cast and the AOT regular timeline. But what you're trying to say is that, in the School Cast, just because he was free and he was bored, he still wanted to find something to entrap the world and encase the world. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he mentioned anything about not being free in School Cast. I think his main motivation in School Cast was that he was bored and he was just living life and just in high school and just was like, that was it. So how in the hell are you going to try to find a correlation between boredom and freedom? You can't. I'm bored. I'm here. I'm chilling. I'm bored. But you're trying to, you're trying to connect the two. You're trying to intertwine the two to say, I'm trying to understand Eren's character more. I'm trying to understand his character. I don't think so. I don't think it really has anything to do with it at all. So I agree, man. They just trying to bro. This man saying everything that I said, bro. You just trying to make this guy out to be like he's just this stone cold killer and just fuck the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude.
He's bored, and people actually buy that and see that as good writing. Once again, Invaderzz called this well written, fascinating, and a unique character motivation.
Whether or not you like this part of the story is ultimately subjective, but I believe that this is an incredibly well written, fascinating, and unique character motivation that deserves to be acknowledged for what it is.
I don't know how Invaderzz and Ending Defenders see that as good writing. I don't know how they bought that, or I don't know how they buy this. I'm looking at point number 4. Eren would go as far as wanting to destroy a free world, just to create one where he could fight for freedom. All that because he's bored. What does Invaderzz and Ending Defenders, in the bottom of their hearts, do they actually believe that's Eren? Do they really, really believe that? Because to me, it's almost unfathomable how Invaderzz can take Eren during the rumbling out of necessity because the world is actively trying to kill him. But Invaderzz is like, nah, that's not it. That's not the reason Eren did the rumbling. And also, it's not a very good reason. What is actually happening is that Eren did the rumbling and destroyed the world because he just felt like it. He's Michael Myers. He did it for the heck of it. Yeah. And even if Eren was free, if he did live in a free world, he still would have done the rumbling. That's just who he is. He was bored. Nothing better to do. And that's why I brought up Sash syndrome. Because these people would take that and run with it. They won't question it. They won't even think about it. And I don't know why. I don't know how they don't see this as bad character writing. I don't. Bad characterization. And it also doesn't surprise me. Because Invaderzz, and just Invaderzz in general.
I already told y'all my reasons as to why. I told y'all the reasons as to why I think they do that, and the reasons why I think that people do that is because of one word: acceptance. They cannot accept that the story that they put their time, effort, and energy into turned out to be bad. They can't accept it. It's basically like a PTSD, right? You know what I'm saying? Like how your mind blocks out stuff. That's what I'm thinking. That's the only logical explanation I can give you guys. I think it's a PTSD situation to where they read it and they were so fucking in shock. They were like, this is it? That all of a sudden, they, boom. You know what? Eren just was crazy. You see what I'm saying? Because again, as I've said before, and I said it in a previous video, to say that Eren was crazy is a cop-out. However, to say that he was crazy takes care of all your problems. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't form a logical thread to weave the story together based off the ending. You can't do that. So since you can't do that, your only choice is to say, oh, Eren's crazy. And then by you saying Eren's crazy, that's your response for everything. So when he did this, oh yeah, he was crazy, man. He didn't know. You saw him kill those 2 people, right? In Mikasa, he just stabbed them folks, man. Well, he tried to stab them because, you know, Mikasa was in trouble. Nah, it don't matter, man. He's crazy, man. He was crazy. You see his eyes, right? You know what I'm saying? He wanted to rip and kill people when he was in the Titan and shit. He wanted to kill them folks, man. You saw him attack Mikasa, right? The first time? Man, that's crazy. He was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are what they try to grasp to. And I think it is. I think it's more of like a PTSD situation. You know, people experience it all the time. You know, unfortunate, like when people will be like in unfortunate car accidents and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to drive no more. They'll be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to drive. You know what I'm saying? Or if something happens, you know, people who suffer from situations like that, they don't want to do anything to get back into that situation. It's like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? This shit reminds me of that. I'm good, right? And that's what I think it is. I think they read that shit and they saw the utter atrocity that was chapter 139 and was like, nope, this didn't happen. This is what it meant. He was crazy. That's what I think they did. Yeah.
Are the same people who, when they first read this page, which literally retcons the best moment in Attack on Titan, Eren's best moment, and one of the best moments in fiction, they didn't question it. They didn't even think about it.
Yep.
They just accepted it. There was even a, I don't know about that.
Yep.
That's kind of weird. That's a little questionable. Nope, they just bought it. So again,
best
this
moment
isn't surprising.
Is one of the best hope.
And then Invaderzz says that Eren was always a cold-blooded killer.
After his attack on Marley, Eren seemed to have changed into a cold-blooded killer. But that wasn't true. Eren had always been this way.
See? As I said before, this is what he said. One of those, that's what I'm saying. One of my commenters, I can't really think, I don't know who it was at the moment, but one of my commenters said that, no, Eren, what did they say? They said that, I'm not saying that Eren's a cold-blooded killer, because what they were doing was they were defending this video that I made, because I made points on this video, the first part I did on the video, and they were defending it by saying this is that. And I told them, I'm saying, man, he's not a cold-blooded killer, whatever, so you think he was that or whatever. Oh, I'm not saying Eren's a cold-blooded killer. But then I retorted and told them, well, if you agree with this video, that's what they're saying he is. Thank you, Odin. Here's the scene right here. He literally just said Eren's just a cold-blooded killer. That's what I'm telling you. Like, y'all have to see the core of the video, guys. This is not who he was. This is not what he was. He was not a fucking cold-blooded killer. He wasn't. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't.
But no. I mean, obviously Eren did horrible things, right?
Yeah.
Like the rumbling and the attack on Liberia, which killed an unfathomable amount of innocents.
Agreed.
But at the very least, Eren had a fundamental reason for doing these, which is that his freedom is being actively threatened. So he does all this to prevent his freedom from being taken. But here, Invaderzz is saying, no, not really.
Yep.
Eren just feel like doing all this because that's just who he is. He's just a psychotic, mass-murdering maniac.
That's not true.
He does it because he's bored. He's Michael Myers. Like, do you really think Eren stumbled upon Mikasa's house and he saw Mikasa and her family and the 3 kidnappers having a nice dinner, and they were just, talking about how beautiful the day was and just the beauty in life in general, right? And then Eren was like, you know what? I'm kind of bored right now. I got some time to kill. And then he just brutally kills the 3 kidnappers.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying, bro. Thank you. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is perfect, man. I'm talking about, I knew I was excited when I saw him post this. I knew I was excited for a reason, because I knew he was going to touch on this shit. This is what I'm saying. This was the point I was trying to get it off too, as well. Y'all acting like this man just woke up one day and was just like, I want to just destroy the world. Because you just said, per his video, Eren changed into a cold-blooded killer at that point. But no, that's not true. He's always been this way. No, he wasn't. He was not a fucking cold-blooded killer and an assassin. That wasn't what it was. Every time Eren acted, it was out of it was a reaction, right? Every time he acted, it was a reaction. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just finna do this shit. Fuck it. Right? It was only after they declared war he attacked Liberia. It was only after he said the kidnappers killed Mikasa's parents, he killed them. It was always only after. And that's what I'm saying. He never started it. He never started shit. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what are we talking about?
No, he obviously killed them because he saw what they did to Mikasa's parents and for what they were doing to Mikasa. And also in self-defense because they were also trying to kill him. And towards the end of the video, Invaderzz says that Eren, even after destroying the world, Eren would still be bored and looking for freedom.
Up to his very last moments, Eren was never free. Even if he had accomplished his goal and destroyed the entire world, I think he still wouldn't really have attained the freedom he sought after. At first he would be at peace, but then what? Once he destroyed the world, what would come after? Just as Eren was bored with the world before finding out about his own lack of freedom, and as he was bored living in the free world of school casts, I think that Eren would have not been able to stand the empty, meaningless world outside of the walls before too long. He would be searching for some nebulous feeling until the day he died, never satisfied, always aimlessly pursuing something he could never attain.
And it's crazy because before he was talking about a hypothetical, right? If Eren was born in a free world, then he would destroy it, which in itself is already crazy. But now at the end of the video, he's saying if Eren did destroy the world, then he would still be looking for freedom. He would still be bored. He wouldn't feel free. And it's like, how can anyone buy that?
Right.
Defenders, why do you let your favorite character get massacred like this?
Right.
Yeah, even if Eren did the rumbling to look for his freedom, which was destroying the world just for the heck of it. Afterwards,
just 'cause he
everyone
wanted
would
to.
still be looking for his freedom. He would still be bored. Sure, it wouldn't be immediately, but after a while, everyone would be bored and looking for freedom. Come on, really?
Right.
Invaders.
Come on, bro.
Do you really think that's well-written? Do you actually think that's fascinating? Do you really think that's a unique character motivation? Do you really believe that?
Right.
But it also doesn't make sense because if Eren, like Invaderzz says, really wanted to do the rumbling, if he actually wanted to do the rumbling, then why does Eren, for 4 years, actively try to look for a different plan or a different solution other than the rumbling? It doesn't make sense. If Invaderzz is telling us that Eren in his very nature wants to do the rumbling, then why does that same Eren try to look for different solutions to the rumbling? Why does Eren try to engage in peace talks with Marley? Why does Michael Myers, why does Eren, Michael Myers Jaeger, want to engage in peace talks with Marley and the outside world? Can Invaderzz or an ending defender, can they please answer that? That's what I want to know. Why does Michael Myers himself why does Eren Jaeger himself
This dude
why
crazy.
does Eren, who in his very nature wanted to serve the world, but actively tries to look for different solutions instead of doing that, like engaging with the Uzumabito, and even when those plans fell through, Eren looked disappointed, and then after that he literally wanted to engage in peace talks with Marley in the outside world. He went to Marley along with the scouts to engage in those peace talks, but somehow I'm supposed to believe that Eren didn't do it out of necessity. He did it because he wanted to.
I'm saying, let me read this because I know I'm blocking a little bit of it. Hold on. So Invaderzz at a later point, which we'll get to, talks about how Eren saw he was going to do the rumbling in the future in chapter 90. So if Eren wanted to do the rumbling like Invaderzz says, and Eren just saw himself doing the rumbling in the future, then wouldn't Eren feel more emboldened to do the rumbling now that he knows he's for sure going to do it? This is what he wants, right? So why isn't he more emboldened to do the rumbling way earlier? Why is Eren wasting his time looking for other solutions? Couldn't have said it better myself. This is what we're talking about. This is the main meat and potatoes of what we are talking about right there. He said it all in just a few sentences. This is what we're trying to do. If Eren was just this killer, you just said he's always been a cold-blooded killer. You're contradicting yourself in every sentence that you put, saying he was a cold-blooded killer. He's always been a cold-blooded killer. If that was the case, why on earth would he feel and be disappointed, like he said, when the peace talks fell through, when other things fell through, when other things were mentioned? Why was he upset, right? Like I said in the last video, when he was talking about do not defend the rumbling, right? Like I said in the last video, he made it a point to say that, oh, people were getting on to the scouts saying that the scouts didn't do enough to stop what happened. But he himself disagreed with those people, saying that the scouts did everything that they could do within their power to stop it, even so far as to going over to Marley to participate in these peace talks. Like I said, like a United Nations type meeting, right? And as I pointed out, is Eren not part of the scouts? Was Eren there? Was he with them in the peace talks? If Eren was there in the peace talks and Eren was there, right? That means he was part of that, right? So if they did everything in their power to try to stop the rumbling from happening, wouldn't you say Eren is a part of that key group as well? Wasn't he also trying not to do it? That's what I'm saying. And that's a very valid point right there. Very valid point that he just said. If he just wanted to do the rumbling just because, and he saw himself do it, wouldn't he be like, yeah, oh, hell yeah, let's go do the rumbling now. Fuck it. Let's go. Right? He would want to go do that. He would have been persistent at trying to get to Zeke. He wouldn't even have tried to do no peace talks. He would have said, nah, fuck that shit, man. Fuck all that. Because they figured that shit out when they were talking about the whole Historian 50-year plan, right? So he figured out that, yeah, maybe this is a workaround, and Zeke figured that out. He said that, right? So if that was what happened, he should have said, yeah, this is my chance. I'm going to go talk to Zeke right now and kill them all. Right? He wouldn't have waited. Again, he wouldn't have waited. He would have went he would have went straight over there to Zeke, did what he needed to do, and made that shit happen. That's what he would have done. If he just wanted to do the rumbling just like that, that's what he would have done. He wouldn't have had Zeke wouldn't have been able to be with Levi. He could have broken out. He told Haji, right, in the prison. He said, you guys can't stop me. You guys can't kill me either. You can't stop me. If I want to get out of here right now, I can. Why didn't he get out then and go look for Zeke and do the rumbling and say, fuck y'all, I'm doing a rumbling right now? See what I'm saying?
That's just who he is. Moving on, Invader says that Eren is a slave to his own nature. And this whole a slave to your own nature is some of the most pseudo-intellectual stuff I've ever heard. But instead of focusing on just Invaders, let me show you a clip from another YouTube video. And this clip comes from Sage's Reign.
The possibility that Eren is unfree lies not because of another's will, but rather because he is a slave to his own desires, to his own nature. Eren is a slave to the idea of freedom.
Eren is a slave to his own desires and his own nature. Basically what Sage's Reign and Invaders are saying is that it's free will, but they're trying to say it in a complicated, hyper-philosophical, highly intellectual way. Eren, a slave to his own desires and his own nature. That is textbook free will. That's what free will is.
Yeah.
But they want to say it in the most pseudo-intellectual way to just like word salad it. And I don't think Sage's Reign and Invaders are doing this on purpose, right? That's just the material that they were given. That's just the way Isayama tried to write it. But once you think about it, you're like, wait, what? It reminds me of the Key and Peele bank robbery skit, where Key is saying, oh, I have an idea for robbing a bank. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get a job. We're gonna get hired by the bank. And after about a couple years or a decade, we're gonna have a lot of their money. And at the end, Peele was like, bro, isn't that just having a job?
First of all, you and me start working at the bank. Doesn't matter the position, okay? Just so long as we get in there. Do the work. Gain their trust until we get them in the palm of our hand. They deposit the money into our bank accounts. And then 20, 30 years later, we walk out the front door like nothing even happened.
Mother, that's called a job.
And the point is that Key, similar to Sage's Reign and Invaders, and they're not the only ones, it's any defenders in general. But the point is that similar to Key, Sage's Reign, and Invaders, they all try to say this, word salad, super complicated stuff.
Yeah.
When in reality it's just, oh, so it's free will? Oh, so it's just a job. That's literally what it is. As simple as.
As simple as that. That is true. That's true, right? What he just said was an overly complicated, convoluted scenario that was actually just a job. Like he said, motherfucker, that's a job. It's a job. He said 20 or 30 years later, we walk out like nothing happened. It's a job. You work for them. He said, do the work. Right, it's a job. Like he said, man, that's what they do, man. They do overly complicated, convoluted things and say these different things to try to make it like, oh, and it's super fucking confused. Just say what it is. Be as blunt and straightforward as what it is. That's what it is, man. He was a slave to his will. A slave to his will, a slave to his desire. We wanted freedom. Who the fuck wouldn't? Stop being a slave to it. It's just, damn, I want freedom. I don't want to sit here and just be in these walls and controlled by these titans. I want to see the fucking outside world. I want to see what the world is offering. Based off that book that was a lie. I want to see what the fuck is out there. But then he learned, oh, it's not just the titans, motherfucker. It's a whole world don't like your ass. What you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
That. Now, before we break down determinism, let me just give 2 different points that I find, well, one I found funny and the other one is just like a clarification. So I'll play this clip from Invaders.
Isayama certainly isn't saying that Eren is free of the consequences of his actions either.
And that, I just find it very funny how Invaders can say that, because Isayama did everything in his power, to try to take away any sort of responsibility that Eren could have had in chapter 139. I just found that very funny.
Sure.
And now the next one. Invaders mischaracterizes Eren and calls him an antagonist.
And it's at that point that Eren's role as the protagonist of the series switched to that of antagonist. He would continue to kill and destroy for his own sake, despite knowing it was the wrong thing to do.
So no, Eren is not an antagonist. He's actually a protagonist. A protagonist is the main character. It does not matter if they are bad or good. If they are the main character, they are the protagonist. An antagonist is the opposite of the main character. They're the foil of the protagonist. But anyways, now on to determinism. So Invader says that Attack on Titan takes place in a deterministic universe.
Let's get to this.
And so he goes on to define determinism.
To put it simply, the universe of AOT is a deterministic one. The philosophy of determinism claims that all events in the universe are determined by pre-existing causes, including moral choices. This means that there's a cause and effect relation between all events in the universe. It also means that human free will doesn't actually exist. The universe of AOT operates on this principle, and this also applies to Eren and his actions.
And so Invader talks about how Grisha gave Eren the Attack Titan and Founding Titan, and he uses determinism to explain why he did it.
This is also why Grisha ultimately gave Eren the Attack Titan, despite asking Zeke to stop him. There's only one timeline, and it was the one in which Grisha was eaten by Eren. As a result, Grisha was guaranteed to follow that same path of giving his Titan to Eren. The reason why he chose to do so is heavily debated, but why he did so is irrelevant to the simple fact that he did.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Invaders completely glosses over the Grisha plot hole.
Yep.
One of the biggest questions in Attack on Titan: why did Grisha give Eren the Attack Titan? And Invaders literally says it doesn't matter because determinism. Do you guys understand how crazy that is?
Yeah.
I'm gonna repeat it one more time. One of the biggest questions in Attack on Titan, one of the biggest plot holes in the entire story after it ended was, why did Grisha give Eren the Attack Titan and the Founder? And Invaders is going, that doesn't matter because determinism.
Right.
He was eventually gonna give it.
Well, answer that. Excuse me. God damn, dude. Yeah, answer that question. Answer that question. Why? You just gloss over it. That's what I'm saying. You gloss over things because it doesn't make sense. You just gloss over it because, again, it doesn't feed into your narrative. So you're just going to just bypass it and just say, whatever. You see what I mean? You see how that doesn't make sense? You see how that's ridiculous? That's what we're talking about. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You gloss over things just because it doesn't suit the narrative that you want it to suit. But that's not fair. That's not cool. You should be able to answer these questions if you're going to make it based off the source material. It doesn't matter why. It's just because it's deterministic. It was supposed to happen. Okay.
To him anyways. Do you guys see why that's bad? Because essentially Invaders is going, there's no such thing as a plot hole, as a badly written moment, as a badly written concept, or plot point.
Yep.
Because you can wave all that away because of determinism. That's insane. It really is.
Yeah.
Take Game of Thrones, for example. D&D can literally come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, remember when Daenerys burned down King's Landing? And all of you were like, wait, why did she do that? What was the reason for that? Was it the bells? and D&D can be like, nope. Determinism. She was going to do it eventually. So yeah, determinism. It was bound to happen. No, I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to ultra simplify it. That is literally what Invaders just did. Yeah. You can literally wash away any horrible aspect by saying determinism. But notice how me giving those examples of Game of Thrones and trying to use determinism to write away bad writing. Notice how me saying determinism didn't make it better, didn't turn bad writing into good writing. That's because determinism isn't a good excuse for bad writing. That's because determinism isn't a literary device that washes away bad writing. Yeah. And then a little later, Invader says that Eren is a perfect predictor and explains Newcomb's paradox.
But now that he had seen the future, he knew what he would choose. Even if this is what he wanted, he became aware that he never had free will in what choice to make. This leads to a paradox related to free will known as Newcomb's paradox. More specifically, a subsection of Newcomb's paradox related to retrocausality.
This is what we're talking about, bro.
In a world with perfect predictors, people who have seen the future and can make predictions about it with 100% accuracy, retrocausality can occur. If a person truly knows the future and that knowledge affects their actions, then events in the future will be causing effects in the past. The chooser's choice will have already caused the predictor's action. Some have concluded that if perfect predictors can exist, there can be no free will and choosers will do whatever they're fated to do.
True.
Aaron knows with 100% accuracy what choices he will make in the future.
No, he
That
didn't.
is to say that Aaron himself has become a perfect predictor.
No, he didn't. How? When in clearly in chapter 139, he just said that his mind was fucked up and convoluted and he didn't know anything. So how that's what we're saying. You're constantly you can't make this up, guys. You cannot make this up. You're constantly going back and forth and you're constantly contradicting yourself. How in the fuck is he a perfect predictor and knows exactly what's to happen and everything like that? When in chapter 139, supposedly it was revealed, he really didn't know. He didn't know everything that was going to happen. He said it. He said he didn't know.
So Invaderzz is saying that Aaron is a perfect predictor, and he has no choice but to follow the future, regardless of what he wants. But that's the problem, because the reason Aaron saw he was going to do the rumbling in chapter 90 was because Aaron wanted to do it. He willed it. When Invaderzz talks about Newcomb's paradox, in a vacuum, he is right. If a person truly knows the future,
Yeah.
a perfect predictor,
Agreed.
and the knowledge of the future affects their actions, then events in the future will be affecting the past.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter now. If I know exactly what's going to happen and how it's going to happen and how everything is going to play out right now, and I know that, yes, then free will doesn't really exist because I already know what's to come. Free will is based on the concept of not knowing. That's what free will means, right? That I'm free to do as I please because I myself do not know the outcome of what I'm going to choose. That's why it's free will, right? Whereas if I already knew all of that and I know everything that's to come, then essentially free will, yes, does not exist. It's not really a hard concept to understand. But the reality is you're saying that in a sense that Aaron became 100% a perfect predictor, but that's not true. Because if we go off of that shitty chapter of 139, he literally says he doesn't know what was going to happen. He just moved forward just because that's what I just want to do that. I'm just going to keep going that way. I have no idea why I did what I did. It's just because it was just because. Just because. The past and the present and future were happening all at once. So I had no idea what the fuck was going on. No, see, that's what I'm saying. That goes against your little theory there. Because clearly he didn't know. Like, come on, man.
In that case, yes, there is no free will. But in this video, Invaderzz is arguing that the world of AOT is deterministic. So him using Newcomb's paradox as an argument under the guise of determinism doesn't make sense. Because in a deterministic world, the future is set by the actions or choices made in the past, as Invaderzz defined. The future that follows is caused by the past. The future that Aaron sees should be tied to what he wants, because the only reason he saw the future of him doing the rumbling was because he wanted it, or willed it, to happen. It's not that Aaron saw the future and then changed his actions based on the future to do the rumbling. No, there has to be a connection on both sides.
Yeah.
The reason Aaron saw himself doing the rumbling in the future is because that future was laid out by choices made in the past.
Yeah.
So for Invaderzz to use Newcomb's paradox makes no sense for what he's trying to argue, which is that AOT is a deterministic world. Also, that last sentence of his explanation for Newcomb's paradox goes against everything that he's arguing about. Perfect predictors can exist, then there can be no free will, and choosers will do whatever they're fated to do. But ladies and gentlemen, just a little earlier, Invaderzz said that AOT is in a deterministic world, not a world of fate. And he also said that Aaron is not being compelled by supernatural forces like fate and destiny.
The reason that the future is inevitable is not because it is fated by supernatural forces, but because it is a direct product of the past. Aaron's past and the circumstances of the world had ensured that this was the only possible future. Again, Aaron is in no way compelled by supernatural forces, like fate or destiny, to take these actions.
His argument for Newcomb's paradox goes directly against him, because at this point, he's arguing for fate. He is 100% contradicting himself. And Invaderzz doesn't even try to make a statement on whether the future happened because Aaron saw it, or because...
Now my videos don't seem too stupid now, do they? The videos that I made don't seem too crazy now. Odin's just tied it up with a nice little bow. Don't seem too goddamn stupid now, huh? All the shit I was saying about, all the stuff I was talking about, don't seem too crazy now, right?
He wanted it. He deflects and says that it doesn't matter because Eren, whether or not he saw the future, he would have done it.
Eren knows with 100% accuracy what choices he will make in the future.
You just heard what he said, right? He knows with 100% accuracy what choices he's going to make in the future. How was that the case when in 139 he said he didn't know the outcomes of the choices that he was going to make? He didn't even know if his friends were going to survive. He just went with it.
That is to say that Eren himself has become a perfect predictor. That raises the question, where did his idea to do the rumbling originate from? Did it originate from himself? Or did he only make that choice because seeing the future put the idea into his head? That is what lies at the heart of the perfect predictor paradox. Regardless, it is possible that perfect predictions can align with what the predictor actively desires. And in Eren's case, as someone who saw the future that he sought, that applies to him. For Eren, the origination of his choices is irrelevant. These are the decisions that he would have made, whether he had known he would make them or not. I'd like to share a quote from Twitter user LLuck, who I think summed this up perfectly. Eren knowing what he would do in the future doesn't end up mattering to him during his actions post-time skip. What he sees in the future is exactly what he would do even if he hadn't seen it, because this future is based on himself.
But it does matter, because he did see the future. And if Invaderzz is going to argue that AOT is a deterministic world, but then use Newton's paradox that explains fate, which completely goes against what he's arguing, then Invaderzz has to at least give us a definitive answer as to where Eren's actions originated.
Right.
Because if not, then this entire argument, or at least this section of the video, becomes null and void. Because at this point, we have no idea what Invaderzz is arguing. He's saying AOT is deterministic, and then uses Newton's paradox to argue for it.
Right.
But Newton's paradox explains fate. And later on, Invaderzz says that Eren doesn't know if he wanted to do the rumbling based on the future or himself. Which, again, goes against determinism.
But even Eren didn't understand why his own nature was that way, nor exactly what it was that drove him onward. I want to share another quote from
It's true.
LLuck.
Because if it was determined, then he should have known then. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like you're saying that he knew, but then he didn't know. So what is it? That's what I'm saying. What is it? You know what it is? It's a convoluted word fuck. That's what it is. Just convoluted word fuck. Just a bunch of shit thrown together. And not really just it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
Who I think described this best. Does he want to proceed with the rumbling? Was that an idea that was put into him first by the future he saw? But isn't this future something his own persona created? Did he forge the future, or was the future the one who forged his rage? Both? It doesn't matter. He doesn't know.
It does matter.
I don't know why. But I wanted to do that.
That's terrible writing.
I had to.
Terrible writing.
Invaderzz didn't want to give us a definitive answer as to what gave Eren the idea for the rumbling.
Right.
And here he doubles down on giving a non-answer.
Again.
And says that even Eren doesn't know.
Yeah.
What?
But again, he just said he knew the events that were going to happen 100% with 100% accuracy. So if Eren knew with 100% accuracy what the events were going to be, and by you knowing 100% accuracy of what the events are going to be, that would in turn align with the fact that you should know why those events are happening, right? If you knew that they were to come, you knew every step. He knew with 100% accuracy based off of your theory, 100% accuracy, and could predict the future with 100% accuracy. That means that he knew exactly what was to come. So if he knew what was to come, that means he knew what decisions would be made to get from point A, B, C, D, E, F, and onward. He would know that. And he would know the reasons as to why. But he just said he didn't know. Eren just said, I don't know why. But he's a perfect predictor though, right? Come on, man. That don't make sense.
Invaders, if you're gonna argue that this world is deterministic and that the rumbling happened because Eren wanted it, then you cannot have Eren himself say that even he doesn't know where he got the idea from.
Exactly.
That goes against the whole deterministic argument.
Exactly.
Invaders this whole time is saying, yeah, the rumbling happened because Eren wanted it. And here he's saying, yeah, never mind. Eren doesn't even know himself. And a little earlier before this, he said that Eren leaving the Alliance with their Titan powers is another predictor paradox. This again goes against determinism.
Though he had the ability to easily take them away, Eren intentionally left the Alliance with their Titan powers.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was to ensure that they wouldn't hesitate to kill him, and that they would have the means to do so.
This again goes against determinism. Look, let me just explain. The philosophy of determinism does not account for time travel, does not account for time travel, and or memory transference through time. That's why the second Invaders mentions time travel, or seeing the future, and pairs it with determinism, he immediately obliterates his entire deterministic argument. Because at that point, you're talking about fate and destiny.
Yeah.
And on the topic of time travel and memory transference through time, another thing that would go against determinism is the fact that Eren consciously made an effort to change the past. That's called a bootstrap paradox. Eren did it when he manipulated Grisha to give his younger self the Attack Titan and the Founding Titan, and he also did it when he killed his mom. Those are two different examples of Eren making a conscious effort to go back in time and change the past, or manipulate the past. That is not determinism. Determinism does not account for that. You guys have to understand that determinism does not account for time travel, memory transference through time, or seeing the future, or anything like that.
Oh, the ripping him up, dog. Oh, the ripping him up, dog. He ripping him up. This is what we talking about, man. This is what we talking about. This is why we get so passionate about shit like this. Because people put bullshit out there and then people just eat it. And just be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Like I said, the points that he made are bullshit. They are. I'm sorry. The points that he made are bullshit. And we know it's bullshit. We know it is. But a lot of you fans or whoever is like, no, those points he made are great. No, they're not. They're not great. None of them. They're not. The ones in which he are referencing and, points of the story and he's making factual statements based off the source material. Okay, yeah, I agree with those. But this, like he just said, all this determinism, like he said, does not account for that. But he made a conscious effort into going back in time, getting a so-called Titan to kill his mom, and then influencing Grisha. That doesn't account, and determinism doesn't take that into account. But it's a deterministic universe, right? Come on, man. Like, Jesus. It wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Nobody is, there is no proof to this day where you can show me in any shape or form that Isayama knew or saying in regards to the world of Attack on Titan that it's a deterministic universe. He never said that. That's what I'm saying. You don't know that. You're just trying to add that philosophy to it. But we don't know that.
And again, I'm gonna repeat myself. That's why the second Invaders mentioned time travel, mind transference, seeing the future, under the guise of determinism, his entire argument became invalidated. Moving on. Invader says that Eren didn't know he would be stopped when he began the rumbling.
When Eren kissed Historia's hand, these are the memories that he recalled from Grisha. Grisha did not receive any memories from Eren beyond the scenery of freedom. That also means that Eren did not learn at this time anything beyond reaching that scenery either. But if that's true, then doesn't it mean that Eren had no idea he would be stopped in the end? And the answer to that question is yes. Eren did not know he would be stopped when he began the rumbling.
And 3 minutes later, Invader says that Eren found out he would be stopped when he gained the Founding Titan in chapter 123.
Regardless, if everything I've just said is true, then when did Eren learn he would be stopped? The answer to that question is after gaining control of the Founding Titan.
And then later on, he doubles down on this and says that Eren learned he was going to be stopped in 123 after gaining the Founding Titan.
So then why did he allow himself to be defeated in the end? The answer to that is that somewhere along the line, he saw the future once again. The question we need to answer now is this. When exactly did Eren see the future again and learn that he would be stopped? And we can pinpoint that exact moment. Eren's plans were stopped long before the Alliance ever got near him. Because of his imminent, unavoidable death, Eren altered his plans and gained 2 new objectives. His first new objective was to end the Curse of the Titans. He didn't know the specifics, but he knew that his actions would push Mikasa into making a choice that would eliminate Titans from the world.
No, he didn't.
His second new objective was to make his friends into heroes.
So Invader says that Eren changed or modified his plans for the rumbling after seeing that he would be stopped. But this is also contradictory, because Invader says that Eren wanted the rumbling. He was willing it. So it makes 0 sense for him to say that Eren wanted the rumbling and then stopped because he saw that he would lose. This also goes against what Invader is arguing, because he's saying that this world is deterministic.
Right.
But determinism only makes sense by choices made in the past. Eren wanted to do the rumbling and then stopping because he saw the future isn't determinism, since he made a choice based on the future. You can't say Eren willed something and then stop because he saw the future. That's a paradox. Like Invader says, a perfect predictor paradox. And as I explained, that is not within the grounds of determinism.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all something, man. I knew this video was gonna be hitting on all cylinders, dog. I knew it, man. I knew it was gonna be hitting on all cylinders, man. All cylinders, man. Full drive, bro. Because he's not like, he's killing them, man. He's killing it. Again, he's saying a lot of things that I couldn't really say, but he's summing them up, and he's knotting a bow on them. He's killing it. He's killing it. Because that's true. This is what we're saying. This is a lot of contradictory statements. You can't sit up here and say all of that stuff and not have anything to back it up. Because you're saying, oh, he didn't know the specifics, but he knew that his choice, he knew at least that whatever he was doing was going to have Mikasa to make a choice. He didn't know that, because he just said he didn't even know if they were going to survive. Right? So, he didn't know that they were going to survive based off of his mind getting fucked up, right? So if he didn't even know that they were going to survive, how would he know that she would even be alive to make the choice? That's what I'm saying. He didn't. It was terrible writing.
In fact, what Invader is actually saying, without even knowing it, is that he's basically arguing that the world of AOT is based on fate and destiny, which is the opposite of what he's arguing by saying the world is deterministic. Let me explain the difference between fate and determinism. So as Invader's explained, as he defined, determinism basically says that the future can only happen, or the future is determined based on choices or actions made in the past.
Right.
That's determinism. Fate is that no matter what I do, no matter what actions I take, the future will always happen.
Always
I will arrive at a point in the future, no matter what I do.
Right.
So for example, let's say I have 2 choices, right? I can either sleep with my Mikasa body pillow, or I could go hang out with a real woman, which, ew, gross. Women are nasty and gross. So just say for every day, or every time I'm given the choice, hang out with my 02 body pillow, or hang out with a real woman, I choose to hang out with the body pillow. And I do hang out with it because I will it. I want it to happen.
Yeah.
And every day for the rest of my life, when given the choice, I choose a body pillow. So the future is determined because I will it. I want it to happen. Again, the future is determined by choices or actions made in the past.
Right.
But let's say magically, one day, I don't know how, but I see a future, a nightmarish, scary future, a dystopian future of me hanging out with a woman. Based on my choices and what I want to do, which is hang out with my body pillow, I am not gonna choose to hang out with a real woman. Even if I saw a future of it, I would actively try to choose the body pillow. Every single time. Every single time. Me seeing a future of hanging out with a real woman should have no bearing on my choices in the present, which is choosing the body pillow. But Invader says that Eren chose to do the rumbling.
Right.
He willed it, and then out of nowhere saw a future of him losing, and then chose to lose. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's not determinism.
It's not.
There's no reason, if I do not want to, for me to choose the real woman in a deterministic world. And you can use many examples, right? Oh, every day I'm gonna eat sushi because it's my favorite food. Or given the choice between sushi and I don't know, seaweed, right?
He's killing, he's crushing the game, y'all. He's crushing the game. This is what we're talking about, man. You're talking about deterministic. You don't, like I said, first of all, you don't know that AOT was was a deterministic universe. You don't know that. So you're using that as a little cop out type situation, right? Whatever. But when you're knowing that, like he said, your argument is not valid. Because if it was a deterministic universe, your determinism is based off of, again, like you said, determinism is based off of like your actions in the past that affect your future. It's determined to happen based off of your actions in the past, right? Fate is, like he said, no matter what the fuck I do, it doesn't matter what I do, what I try to change, what I try to alter, it's gonna happen, right? That's what it is. That's the difference. That's the difference. I'm gonna go back and read these because he's got. All right, let's do this. All right, so this is the first one. All right.
Oh, the real woman.
All right, so this is what he said. Because y'all can't see it because my face is in the way. I know. It's just up close face. All right, so think about it this way. This is what he says. Think about it this way. If I always choose to pick the body pillow every single time I'm willing it, then how is it possible that I'm now seeing a future where I choose the woman and not the body pillow? Even though I know for a fact that I would never choose the woman, since I'm always willing to choose the body pillow.
Even if I saw a future of it, I would actively try to choose the body pillow every single time. Every single time. Me seeing a future of hanging out with the real woman should have no bearing on my choices in the present, which is choosing the body pillow.
That's what he's saying. Even if I see the future of me doing a different thing, it shouldn't have no bearing on my choices in right now. It shouldn't have no bearing on it because I should then choose to actively alter that.
But Invaderzz says that Eren chose to do the rumbling. He willed it, and then I don't know.
He chose to do the rumbling, so he willed it, right?
Nowhere saw a future of him losing, and then chose to lose. That
doesn't make sense, right? You just heard him. So here you go. But based on the principles of determinism, me seeing a future with a woman and not the body pillow should be impossible since the future is determined by choices and actions made in the past. Right. I do understand. That's what he said. I should not see a future of me choosing, like he should not see a future of him choosing the woman. Because if determinism is based off of my choices in the past affecting the future, you should only see the future of me picking the body pillow. I shouldn't even see me with a woman.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not determinism. There's no reason, if I do not want to, for me to choose the real woman in a deterministic world. And you can use many examples, right? Oh, every day I'm gonna...
There we go. Now apply this to AOT. How is Eren, who is wanting to do the rumbling, he's willing it, now seeing a future of him losing, even though that's not what Eren wanted, because he was willing the rumbling. Again, do you understand the missing connection here? Like I said before, there has to be a connection on both sides. Exactly. He's absolutely right. Eren should not see he should not see at all a future of him being stopped. He shouldn't even see it. It shouldn't even fucking exist. Right? It shouldn't. It shouldn't even exist. Based off of the logic he's using, based off the logic Invaderzz using, it shouldn't exist.
I eat sushi because it's my favorite food. Or given the choice between sushi and I don't know, seaweed, right? Sushi and seaweed. Every day, you're gonna want to eat sushi because you like sushi. You will it to happen. But one day you see a future of you eating seaweed, you automatically go, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna eat seaweed. Even though you don't want to eat seaweed.
Yeah, Invaderzz, I think, realized this missing connection, and to account for that missing connection, he used Newcomb's paradox, the perfect predictor paradox. But as I already explained many times, in doing so, he unknowingly explained fate, since fate is the only way Eren is now seeing a future he doesn't want. He's not willing it. It's true. It's true. Aaron's not making it happen, right? He's not making it happen. And he's not doing that. He's not doing none of that. Then, like he just said, he shouldn't even see it. But since he's seeing it, like he said, he's unknowingly explaining fate, because fate then would indicate that, hey, it is fated for me to lose. Because you're seeing if I want to do the rumbling, and that's what I'm willing to do the rumbling, and my past actions are making me see the rumbling, I should not see myself losing. But by me seeing myself losing, now that shows that it's now fate. It has turned into fate, because I'm fated to lose.
You want to continue eating sushi. That is non-determinism. That is what we call a supernatural force compelling you to switch from eating sushi to seaweed. Just like what's happening with Eren. Invaderzz said Eren wants to do the rumbling, but then a supernatural force made him choose the route of losing, even though Eren willed the rumbling. He wanted the rumbling to happen.
Right.
So that's determinism. And what isn't determinism? Now let me explain what...
There we go. A supernatural force is making a future opposite to what Eren wants, or he's being compelled by a supernatural force. In other words, Eren is being fated to lose, which Invaderzz said is not happening.
Fate is that no matter what I do, I'm gonna do a certain action or arrive at a certain point. So to say this, I do not want to go back to my house on this certain night, on a Saturday night. But no matter what I do, there will always be circumstances that take me back to the house on a Saturday night. Whether it be, I don't know, maybe like I'm arguing with my waifu and she kicks me out of her house and now I have to go back to my house. Or maybe I'm at my waifu's house, but then all of a sudden there's a fire in my house. The cops are there, the firefighters are there, and obviously I have to go back to my house. Or maybe I'm at my waifu's house and someone breaks into my house, which I then now have to go back to my house to make sure it's okay and nothing's robbed. Right? Those are just 3 examples. There's many different examples, right?
I know what you're saying.
But the point is, no matter what I do or what happens, circumstances will always lead me back to the
Circumstances will always occur that will lead him to have to leave and go to his house at that time. That is fate. He can't change it, regardless of whatever it is. You're fated. Just like us, we're fated to die. Everybody's fated to die. There's nothing we can do to alter that. We can try to extend our time or whatever the case, but in actuality, everybody is going to die and pass away one day. That's fate. We can't change it.
To that point, to that future. That is what fate is. And that is what Invaderzz, without even knowing it, is basically arguing. It doesn't matter if Eren wanted the rumbling. It doesn't matter if he willed it. He was always going to end up losing. Which means a supernatural force, like Invaderzz says, fate, destiny, is when a supernatural force is driving circumstances to lead you to a certain action.
So that's what he's saying. So he's saying that Eren didn't know he was going to be stopped or didn't want to be stopped or whatever the case may be. But if he so-called saw himself losing, that's when he chose to be stopped. No, he always wanted to be stopped. And that's what we're telling you. That's what I've always been saying. He's always wanted to be stopped. He already knew. Again, we don't know what all he saw. But I'm quite sure all that he did see, if he saw himself being stopped or he saw that this was going to happen or whatever the case may be, he should have told them folks then. He should have said, look, dog, because again, we don't know what all he saw. But he could have been like, man, look, man, y'all going to have to stop me, man. Keep me locked away up in there, man, because I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Something. like something. Whatever. But he was fighting against himself because he knew if I didn't do anything, then all of my friends were going to die. All of my family that I know was going to die. So, I got to do something. Unfortunately, this is the only thing that I can do. This is the best thing I can do because that 50-year plan is trash. So the worst thing I can do is the nightmarish rumbling and wipe out billions of people. That's the thing I have to do. So that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, dude.
For a certain point, which is what happens with Eren. Invaderzz is arguing for fate. He just doesn't realize that. And also, Invaderzz says that he realized he was going to lose when he got the power of the Founder in chapter 123. But chapter 139 literally refutes this because Eren is saying he knew 80% of the world would be destroyed. And also, Eren and Armin talk about the table scene, which Eren says that he pushed them on the way in the table scene, so later on he can frame them as heroes. And Armin literally says, that was the future you saw at the medal ceremony, chapter 90. Which means Eren has been planning this, based on 139, the retcon. Eren planned this since...
Dude, I've said this millions of times. Loads and loads of times, dog. I've said it in the last video, and I just explained it in this video briefly. Exactly. That's exactly it. He planned it, man. Like, I don't understand why that's so difficult to believe. He planned it. He planned it since then. That's what I'm saying. And they haven't even been further back. But I said that in the previous videos. He been playing that. It's not that he saw it all of a sudden. It was just like, oh, shit, okay, I see it again. No, he planned for that. He pushed them all away based off of chapter 139. He just totally, Invaderzz just and totally glosses over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he totally glosses over that. Just like, whatever. I know, bro. Like, he planned for it to happen. I mean, clearly he planned for it to happen. He even said that. Was this your plan to push us away and so we could prop us up as heroes? He said that's right. So, yes. They even referenced the table scene when he talking about you didn't have to knee me that hard. Come on, guys. Put two and two together.
It's chapter 90. Eren planned to be stopped. He planned to stop 80%. He planned to make his friends into heroes. He planned all that. So no, Eren didn't learn he was going to be stopped in 123. He planned for it to happen.
Look at this. And right there, I'm glad he put this up here. Guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let me hide my face. Let me hide my face so you guys can see. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. Look at that. It says, this is what I was telling you about when he was talking about that. Remember what Vader said back then? Oh, his goals changed after he saw that he was going to be stopped, right? So he knew that by making a specific choice, he didn't know the details of that. He didn't know the specifics, but he knew that what he was going to do was going to drive Mikasa to make a choice that would in the Curse of Ymir, right? No, he didn't know, because here's what he said: killing 80% of humanity, forcing you to fight each other on Paradise, getting even my precious friends wrapped up in this battle without even knowing if you'd survive. That was the future you saw at the medal ceremony. You've been alone since then. It must have hurt. That means right there, chapter 139, the trash chapter, is already proving you wrong. The source material is proving you wrong. He did not know if whatever his choices made was going to have Mikasa make some choice that was all of a sudden just going to magically fucking bring back the goddamn Titan or end the curse. He didn't know that. He didn't know that. That's what we're saying. He didn't know. No, he did not know that. You can't do that. You can't say that all of a sudden that, oh, well, he had two new goals. Now, he didn't know the specifics, but what he did know is he knew that the actions that he took was going to have Mikasa make an action that would inevitably help fight the Curse of Ymir and cure that. No, he didn't. Just based off of what I just said. He said he didn't even know if they were going to survive. So if he didn't even know that they were going to survive, he didn't even know that she was going to be alive long enough to make whatever action she needed to make. Based off of this trashy writing.
Way before 123. And also, if Eren did learn he was going to be stopped in chapter 123 after getting the power of the Founding Titan, then why is Eren in chapter 130 in his head? Why is Eren saying he's going to destroy the world? Why would Eren be saying that in his head? If he just learned that he's going to lose, that doesn't make sense, Invaderzz. That doesn't make sense. And this relates to my next point. So we're done with determinism. We broke that down. Or rather, Invaderzz did himself. But we have this moment where Invaderzz says that Eren acting is a misconception.
There's a common misconception that Eren was just acting throughout much of the story. This misconception mostly stems from people misunderstanding Eren's goals and how much he knew about the future.
And it made me laugh because, well, in the very beginning of the video, Invaderzz says that his intention with this vid is to close the book on the controversies and misunderstandings around Eren.
My intention with this video is to definitively close the book on the controversies and the many, many misunderstandings that have prevailed in the discourse surrounding Eren.
But the thing is, a lot of the stuff he says in this video, a majority of ending defenders still do not believe or hold. For example, the first one, Invaderzz says that the whole Eren is acting is a misconception.
Yeah.
Invaderzz, I think, is the only ending defender that has come out and said Eren acting is a misconception. Eren was not acting.
Yeah.
Because 99% of ending defenders believe Eren was acting the whole time.
Yeah.
You hear this all the time.
I
I don't
think
even
that-
gotta explain it.
Yeah.
Eren was acting. He didn't really care.
Yeah.
He was lying.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So that right there, most ending defenders do not agree with Invaderzz. And most importantly, his big main point of the video is that AOT is a deterministic world. But like I said in my Sasha video, most ending defenders still believe that Attack on Titan is a story based around fate and destiny.
Yeah.
That the main theme after 139 is fate. The majority of ending defenders believe that it was Eren's fate, that Eren is a slave to fate and destiny and Ymir.
Yeah.
That Ymir was controlling him this entire time.
Yeah.
That is what the majority of ending defenders believe. And to add onto that, something really funny, go on YouTube right now and search up Eren is free. And these two videos will show up as the top two. Both of these videos are ending defending videos. The video under Invaderzz video is an ending defending video. But both of these videos have complete ideas, completely opposite ideas on Eren's character. In Invaderzz we have Eren is not free, and in the other video we have Eren is free, he is not a slave. These videos are some of the biggest ending defending videos in the Attack on Titan community.
Yeah.
But they have vastly different, conflicting ideas on Eren. And also, to bring back Sash literally said that everything in the Attack on Titan universe is because Eren made it happen. Even way before Titans existed, and even Paths existed. Sash says that Eren even freed the pigs that Ymir freed. Sash says that that was him. That was Eren that did that. Even though Paths didn't exist yet. The point is that Invaderzz did not close the book on the controversies and misunderstandings on Eren. And I'm not talking about any haters. I'm specifically talking about even amongst any defenders.
Yeah.
They have vastly different ideas on the ending of Attack on Titan.
They
And I've
do.
been saying this for a long time. Ending defenders, even amongst themselves, don't agree upon 139 itself. And whether that's a problem or not, that's for them to discuss. Because to me, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I know what happened. I said this last time. Ending haters have the exact same ideas
We do.
about what happened in Attack on Titan.
We do.
We all agree on what was retconned.
We do.
We all agree on what was bad.
We do.
We all agree on what didn't make sense.
We do.
We all agree on everything that we
do.
did the second 139 came out.
Yeah.
All the way to this day. And nothing changed.
Nothing
And ending
changed.
defenders, ever since that day, they just keep changing their ideas on 139.
Agreed.
I swear, every 4 months, someone comes along or a new group of ending defenders come along and they have this new philosophical or
Yep.
thematic look on 139. It's always changing with them.
Yep.
And also, this whole thing with Invader saying that Eren isn't free, it's basically contradicted with 139 itself. Yama literally says that Eren is free in 139, which invalidates Invader's entire point, that Eren isn't free. And really, that's the problem with 139, right? Because Isayama is saying that Eren was a slave to fate, destiny, and Ymir. But then in the same chapter later on, he switches it up and says, oh no, Eren was free. And no matter what,
Yep.
Invader's is wrong. Because he's saying Eren wasn't free because of determinism, but as I just explained, that's wrong. And Isayama was not saying that with 139. And Invader's is also wrong because Isayama is saying, no, Eren is free. So either way, Invader's arguments are made null and void by different examples
Yeah.
in 139.
Yeah.
And I mean, as is the motto on this
Yeah.
channel, when talking about Attack on Titan, you cannot defend a retcon without retconning yourself.
Yeah, you
No
can't.
matter what an ending defender says, it will be invalidated either by 139 or anything that came before it. And I'm at a point now where me, someone who hates the ending of Attack on Titan, someone who hates 139, I'm now at a point where I'm basically using 139 itself to debunk several points
Yeah.
from ending defenders.
Yeah.
I did it with Invaderzz and I did it with Sash.
Yeah.
Invader says that Eren found out he was gonna lose in 123, but 139 says the opposite, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, I'm basically the 139 defender. I'm defending 139 more
You're
than
defending- yeah,
ending
you are.
defenders
You
are
are.
defending 139.
You are.
It's just crazy. Again, the reason for that is because you cannot defend a retcon
You cannot.
without retconning yourself.
Yeah.
And also, Invader's entire point is that Eren isn't free. But I mean, as I just explained throughout the entire video, it basically would have made sense if Invaders was saying that Eren isn't free based on fate and destiny,
Yeah.
not on determinism.
Not on
Which
determinism.
Invaders, at times in his video, he basically does argue that. He just doesn't realize it. But then again, even if he definitively did say that Eren isn't free under fate and destiny, it still wouldn't have gotten him closer to making a case for why Eren wasn't ruined. And before I get to my last segment, I just want to again mention this one point which I found very funny. But Invaders talks about Eren's inactions destroying the island.
Eren showed Mikasa an alternate reality, one in which they abandoned everything to spend their remaining time together. But a world like this could never exist. This was a world founded on a time paradox, one in which the island ended up being destroyed because of Eren's inaction. This world contradicted Eren's very nature. It was never possible to begin with.
And Invaderzz, did you not read the extra pages? Because that's exactly what happened. But yeah, I just found that very funny. Now
It
for the
is
last
funny,
segment of the video,
because it got
and I
destroyed
just really
anyway.
want to wrap the whole fate thing up. You never want to put fate and destiny into your stories.
Yeah.
When writing a story, you never want to put the philosophies of fate and destiny into your stories.
Mm-hmm.
The only time fate has ever worked in fiction is JoJo's and Berserk. And I'm sure there's hundreds more, but off the top of my head, Berserk and JoJo's come up. And in Invaderzz' video, he talks about JoJo's and fate. But the reason fate works in JoJo's and Berserk is because you have certain examples or circumstances where characters defy fate. In JoJo's, you have characters breaking fate. In Berserk, even with the whole causality bullshit, the God Hand, which is whatever's. But even then, fate in Berserk works because you have characters defying that fate, right? And I mean, Gush's character is defying fate. So fate in JoJo's and Berserk works because it's not 100% fate, right? Fate isn't being used to its full extent.
Right.
Because again, you do have characters defying that fate. That's why it works. And if there is stories where they use fate to its fullest extent, then I might as well just read or watch the ending. Because why would I waste my time watching and reading the entire story if no matter what the characters say or do, that certain ending will always happen?
It's gonna always happen.
I might as well just skip all of that and just read the ending. And you know, maybe there is a story out there where it uses fate to its fullest extent, and it works, and it does a good job of using it. It's very well done.
Right.
But one thing's for certain is that Attack on Titan is not that story. In Invaderzz' video, he says that the world of AOT is deterministic. That Eren wanted to do the rumbling because he just felt like doing it. He wanted to. He was bored. He's a robot.
Yeah.
He's Michael Myers. And then he says that if Eren lived in a free world, then Eren would have been bored and he would have
And he was
destroyed it
destroyed
anyways. And he also says that even if Eren did complete the rumbling, then Eren after a while, he would have been bored.
Bored again.
Still looking for freedom. And Invaderzz calls Eren's conclusion fantastic and inventive writing.
More specifically, and what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, is that Eren's conclusion was not only logical and natural, but also fantastic inventive writing that truly elevated his character to a level very few could have foreseen.
Being bored, being Michael Myers, just doing it for the hell of it, according to Invaderzz, that's fantastic and inventive writing. Need I say more? But alright everybody, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed
Hey,
it.
man.
I hope you had fun. And just to leave it off with this, I know you guys want to pit me and Invaderzz against each other. Or some of you might try, oh, one's an any hater, one's an any defender, and they're against each other. But no, I don't see myself against Invaderzz, and nor should he see himself against me. I have no ill will against Invaderzz. I don't hate him, I don't despise him for thinking the ending is great, that Eren is one of the best characters in fiction. No, I don't really care. I care enough to make a video on it because I think he's completely wrong. But I don't translate that into I have ill will against Invaderzz. I'm not a hater. I wish the best for him. He's a fellow YouTuber. I completely 100% wish the best for him. I really do.
Yeah.
Again, I thought it was cool that he made a video on All Taxi. So yeah, this video 100% professional. So yeah, just want to say that. And yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it'll help my channel out a lot. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. This video was a bit of a long one, recording it at least. So yeah, I hope it came out good. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
It was great. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a great video. Great video. I already knew it was gonna be on point. I knew it was gonna hit on all cylinders. I knew it. I just knew it when I saw it that it was posted. But yeah, I mean, I agree with definitely that sentiment as he said. All of us who dislike the ending, most of everybody, all the people who dislike the ending, we all did not like it based on the same reasonings. It wasn't that we're just randomly just spewing stuff off and just like, oh, it doesn't really make sense and blah, 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 blah. No, we don't like it because of this very similar reasons. It's because of this. It's because of that. And we could all be like, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? So we that's what it is. That's just how it is with us. You know, the people who did not like it. And, you know, and it's like I said, that's my whole thing about the whole situation, man. It's just, at the end of the day, he wrapped it up in a nice little bow. I mean, he took the key points from the video that I made it to. I mean, I'm very impressed in it anyway, because I made basically a 7-part series, and he did everything and summed up everything in one video in 45 minutes. So That's very impressive, to be honest with you. And he touched on very important key points in that video, in the Invaderzz video. So I definitely commend Odin for that. But yeah, man, it was a lot of stuff that we're saying. Like, gosh, y'all need to watch this. Y'all need to watch more of these videos. A lot of you guys who didn't like, who loved the ending or thought that the ending was great and things of that nature, you guys need to start watching some of the videos of people like Odin, Saint and Chief, Brown's Magic. You know what I mean? I'm not them, but you can. I'll put myself in there if you want to watch the videos and stuff like that. Of what I'm saying at different points like that. We all agree on the same sentiment. Every video I've seen of all three of them, I've agreed with 100%. All of us have agreed with. We all have the same points that we do not like about it. But again, you have an ending defender who says one thing and says like this is what that was, and then the other ending defender's like, no, I don't think that's what that meant. And they're so all over the place. All the people who hated the ending, we all on the same page. We all don't like because of this. We all don't like this because of that. We can literally go to it verbatim. You guys can't do that. So what does that goes to show you? That goes to show you that you guys are not utilizing the source material and taking your thoughts and your energy towards that and making your arguments based off of that. You guys gotta go and find outside sources of things that doesn't even have anything to do with the video at hand. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I love this. I thought it was great. Odin, shout out to you for producing this and making this. It was awesome. It was very well done. But yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, leave a comment, leave a like, of course. You know what I mean? Subscribe as well if you do enjoy the content that's being put out. Most importantly, share it, guys. Share it amongst your friends, amongst people that you know that are in the space that again are having maybe are on the fence or whatever. Maybe you can show them the video here, my video, and even Odin's video. Show them that, and maybe they can explain some stuff that can get explained away. Especially those people who probably even like the Invaderzz video. Show them the flaws in it, because there's a lot of holes and flaws in that. Again, I'm going to put the complete Odin's video down in the description below so you guys can watch it uninterrupted without any commentary from me. And then if you want to, you guys can click on my video as well to watch me react to it. But again, I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all stay safe out there and be well. I'm out.